Hello, I'm Dr. Graham Lawler and welcome to this short video on adding fractions as part of the Mathematics Mastery course. And obviously the purpose is to add fractions. Starting points. Now you need to watch the video and completed the work on families of fractions. You also need to know the top of fractions is a numerator and the bottom of a fraction is called the denominator. So adding fractions, and the first thing we need to do is we need to work out the families. And if you haven't seen the families of fractions video, you need to watch that first. Look what I've done here. I've converted a half into 3/6. There it is. I've also converted a third into 2/6. I haven't gone any further because I've got my lowest common denominator. That's my lowest denominator that's in both lists. My LCD, my lowest common denominator. It's the lowest number that's in that list, which is also in that list. 2 is lower, but it's not in that list. 3 is lower than 6, but it's not in that list. 6 is the lowest number in both lists. So 6 is the lowest common denominator. And look what that means. That means that 1/2 is the same as 3/6, and 1/3 is the same as 2/6. And that means when I add them together, I got 3/6 and 2/6. I've got 3 of them and 2 of them. I must have 5 of them. So it means a half plus a third is 5/6. And there, dear viewer, is my answer. Okay, that's really not too difficult, so long as you understand how we worked out the families of fractions. Let's move on to the next one. 2/5 and 1/3. We're adding together 2/5 and we're adding 1/3. Right, just bring in my pen. Now I've got 2/5. It's written like that. I've written the others like this. 2/5 is 4/10 is 6/15. And look what I've got here. I can do 1/3 is 2/6. And I will pause this for a moment so you can see where I'm going very quickly. So look what I've got here. I know from the work we did before that 2/5 is 6/15. 1/3 I've also converted to 5/15, and when you get better at this, you will be able to do this in one quick stage. So I've converted 2/5 into 6/15. I've converted 1/3 into 5/15. 6/15 and 5/15, add them together, I've got 11/15. I'm so happy. That's my answer. Remember, you can only add together fractions when the denominator is the same, and that's what I've got here, and that's why it works so well. 6/15 and 5/15 gives me 11/15. Let's move on. 5/6 and 1/8. We're adding those together. 5/6 and 1/8. Now again, I'm going to pull up my pen, and again I'm going to look for the families of fractions of 5/6 and 1/8. It's going to give me 10 twelfths rather. So 10 twelfths. Tell you what, you do yours, I'll do mine, and then we'll compare in a moment. Have a go now. Okay, I know that was a bit quick because I paused it here and you probably didn't have much chance, but bear with me. So what we've got here, we've converted 5/6 into 20/24. 20 upon 24, same thing. We've done it 5 2s are 10, 6 2s are 12, 5 3s are 15, 6 3s are 18, and 5 4s are 20, and 6 4s are 24. 20/24. And we converted 1/8 into 24ths. 1's 2 is 2, 8 2s are 16, 1's 3 is 3, 8 3s are 24. So we know that 5/6 is 20/24, and there it is. And we know that 1/8 is 3/24, and there it is. So we've got 20/24 and 3/24. We add them together, and we can do that because the denominators are the same. And that gives us 23 upon 24. And that makes me so happy because that's the final answer and we know it's correct. And if you follow the rules for these, particularly when you're in an exam, it's easy marks. You should never get these wrong. Follow the rules, work out the families of fractions, and you will always get the right answer. Now, depending where you are, you may find some teachers a bit stuffy and say, you can't do it that way, you have to do it my way. There's no real easy way around that. The easiest way is to say, sir, madam, miss, as long as I get the right answer, what does it matter? I put this one in deliberately. Now remember, in Europe we say 1/4 for this fraction here, and in the US you'll probably say 1/4, certainly do in some areas. So we need the family of fractions of quarters and halves. I'm going to leave half alone because look, 4 is a multiple of 2. So all I need to say is, sorry, this one, all I need to say is 1/2 is 2 quarters. And look what I got. I got 1/4 or 1/4 there. And I've just worked out that 1/2 is 2 quarters or 2/4. So I got 1/4, 1/4 plus 2 quarters or 2/4. And that gives me 3 quarters or 3/4. And that again makes me so happy because I know that's the right answer. So I get a big tick. And in an exam, that is easy marks. They are in the bag. That means you can ace the exam. Very, very easily done. Needs practice. Don't think you can do this without practice. You must practice. The only way to learn mathematics is to do mathematics, not just watching these videos. Okay? Watching the videos is important. It's a starting point. But it is not the only thing. You must have a go at questions like this. 1/2 plus 1/3. Now, to save time, I've worked out the families here already. Sorry, 1/8 plus 1/3. I've worked out the families already. So 1/8, 2/16, 3/24. I'm looking for the lowest number that's in there. That's also in there. 8, no. 16, no. 24, yes. Look, 24, 3 over 24. And 8 over 24. So 1/8 is 3 over 24 and 1/3 is 8 over 24. And again, to save a bit of time, I've written them in. So again, I will say 1/8, we converted that to 3 over 24. 1/3, we converted that to 8 over 24. And 3 over 24 plus 8 over 24 gives me 11 over 24, and as I say again, I can add them because the denominators there are the same. So that works again, as I've said before, it's easy marks, marks in the bag. 3 quarters and 1/8. Notice again, I've got quarters and I've got eighths. I've got a multiple there, which makes life easier. It looks harder than it is. Look, 3 quarters is 6. 2 3s are 6, 2 4s are 8. 3 quarters is 6/8. So I can convert 3 quarters to 6/8, and then I've got another eighth there. And there I have it. I've converted the 3 quarters to 6/8. I've got that other eighth is now there. I've got 6/8 plus 1/8 is 7/8. I can do that, although it's a bit scrappy here. And bear in mind I'm writing on a screen and you're writing notes in your book or whatever. I can do that because the denominators are both the same. That makes life so much easier. Okay, so there we have it. We've been adding fractions. That really isn't too difficult. You've got to look at what you're doing, and you've got to look at developing families of fractions and looking for the lowest common denominator. When you've got the lowest common denominator, that means you converted both the fractions to the same type of fraction. For example, in this one, we converted them both. We've got a half and a third. We converted them both to sixths. There they are. That's what the lowest common denominator does. That's why it's important. So working out the families of fractions means you can convert them to the lowest common denominator. Then usually you would write them out again. So 1/2 becomes 3/6, 1/3 becomes 2/6, and 3/6 and 2/6. You add them together, and that's going to give you 5/6. We've done this, and remember, you can watch this video again as often as you like. But you must sit down and do some mathematics. You must try out some questions like this and get them right, obviously. So it is a matter of putting time and effort into your studies. And that's actually the difference between succeeding and failing. People who try and cut corners are people who fail. You've got to put in, there's a horrible word, it's called the grunt work. And the grunt work means grafting, as they say in the north of England, in the UK. It means putting in hard work. You put in the hard work and you'll find you've got skills there that will last you for the rest of your life. It really is that straightforward. And we need to get away from the idea that some people have that mathematics is not important. Mathematics, dear viewer, I can tell you, is vital. I'm Dr. Graham Lawler. and thank you for watching.